Hetepu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Qesankh Kaparu with another video for you. And in this video, we're going to take a look at a dark point in our history called the slavery birthing farms. But before I get into this, I want you to hit the like button. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe bell to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. If you want to know more about my spiritual teachings, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. There's no obligation and you can cancel at any time. As a supporter, you'll get exclusive access to instructional videos and articles. These videos will tackle subjects like how to meditate properly, proper breathing exercises, how to contact your ancestors, how to do lucid dreaming. And we have a ton of articles on the esoteric subject matter. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. So namaste, grand rising. It's late here, but I didn't want to turn in until I made this video because it's been on my mind a lot. And it's the subject of these birthing farms on the slave plantation. This is a subject matter that's not really talked about much. This and buck breaking, and if you don't know what buck breaking is, I'll probably do another video to broach that subject matter. But the slave birthing farms were very tragic in what transpired. And so let me kind of explain for those of you who are not aware of this, because like I said before, when you learn about slavery, like roots and things like that, you don't see this dark side, And basically, these birthing farms where black women were forced to give birth to these babies repeatedly. And I'm not going to go into the details of it, but it served two purposes. Number one, to try and breed lighter skinned babies. And number two, to breed strong males that could be sold on the auction. So this slave plantation owner, would purchase women and then use them to give birth to these babies in the twofold manner I previously explained. But the horrific part about this is that they were raped repeatedly. And I have to say it that way because I don't want YouTube's algorithms to ban this video. Yes, they were raped repeatedly. Now, there's something that we have to deal and contend with to understand how our ancestors were able to deal with those tragic events. You see, this is not a thing where, of course, black women went willingly. They didn't. But there was a way in which they were coerced into doing this. And this happened, very subtly, where the slave's mind was conditioned so that everything that they did was to seek the slave master's approval. So, this didn't happen at first because the slaves in Virginia, that docked in Virginia, of course, rebelled. But over the course of decades, their minds began to be conditioned to have a certain perspective. And we carry on those conditionings and certain ideological perspectives. As I said, they were raped repeatedly, but the result of that was to understand that they were enslaved, and that by not obeying and basically complying with the slave master, they could be brutally beaten. And over the course of time, these beatings conditioned our mindsets until we got to a point where we began to accept slavery, not all of us, though, and also to seek to do what we can to appease and get the approval of the plantation owner. So when these women were giving birth to these babies, they had to, in terms of deal with this trauma as best as they could. And part of that, again, was try, in a sense, to survive, because you could be killed at any moment. And now these plantations, or let's call them birthing farms, is where the women were, and when they were raped by either the plantation owner or by visitors or other slaves he purchased, and he forced them to have intercourse so that the appropriate babies could be born, so that he could put them on the market, separating the children or the babies from the mother. Again, horrific. Let's just quickly take a look at these birthing farms for a moment.
There it is. From here you get a bird's eye view of a business that's going lickety split. Where it happened was cotton and tobacco went sick, and it was either fish or cut bait. There was no question which I'd do. I turned this plantation into a breeding farm. And I must say it was a timely move, because right after that they passed a new law prohibiting the importation of African Negroes. And of course that sent the market sky high.
Pa! Hey, Pa! Mr. Wilton's coming!
Hey there, Mr. Bighorn. I brought my winch.
All right, fetch her here. You've been keeping track of her. You're sure she's in heat?
She's ready for breeding.
Well, I hope so for your sake. You know, Wilson, if she doesn't take the first time, you're not going to like paying another stud fee. How many days ago did she finish?
My missus counted 12. Should be 13 at most with the trip. You can get her mounted right away. I'll be back on the road in a couple hours.
Is it for me, Pa?
Easy. We'll talk about that when you finish school. Now you go and study.
Doggone.
Is she clean?
Sure enough.
Does she have crabs?
For the love of God, I keep her in the house.
Then she's a virgin?
Of course. You know I've been saving her for Jason.
What? A virgin for a brute like that? He'll split her up the middle.
If he does, I'll sew her up. Come on, Mr. Bighorn. I could have serviced this wench 2 feet from my own back door for $50. If I've traveled 60 miles up country, and I'm paying you $200 cash on the barrelhead, it means I want Jason's seed. Anyway, it's my risk, the way I see it. She's my worry.
All right. That's your business.
Jason, the three-legged stallion.
Hi, Daddy.
How's old Mr. Bighorn's arthritis these days?
A little better since he's been draining it out of him and into the niggers.
You can't beat them nigger cuds for curing the arthritis.
Could be, but then I find myself with a litter of crippled pups. Look there.
Where?
Down that box.
Why?
I don't know. These journalists always want you to look into that damned hole. Hey, Wilson, you wait for me at the breeding pen, you hear? I'll take these foreign gentlemen for a turn around the plantation.
Fine, Mr. Bighorn.
Hello, Father. They keep you busy on a Sunday.
Hey, John. What's the matter with you these days? Why, it's been more than 2 weeks since I seen you in church.
I've had a lot to do. The work, Father, too much work. Soon all this is going to be leveled.
Yes, it must be embarrassing for a priest to have his church on a slave-breeding farm.
No, on the contrary, he's quite content. I also pay him as sort of a guardian. Fact is, I need this space up near the big house for special breeding purposes. Good day, Elizabeth. My wife is a little peeved with me because I gave orders to dig up the family graveyard. Doubt she'll ever forgive me. She's been there since yesterday in full mourning, making sure that Grandpa's skull doesn't wind up with Aunt Charlotte's ribs. Just imagine what fun it's going to be going to bed with an undertaker. Hey, Cupid, bring me some sugar cane. These are vintage 43. Only lost about 25%. Usually 60% die. Measles does it. Don't hurt us human, but it kills these poor beasts.
How come some of them are blonde?
Well, you see, some are mine and some are my brothers from Pittsburgh land. And some are from passing guests, like you were saying. And the priest hasn't been losing any time either. All right, that's all now.
All right. I want you to understand that this is a very difficult subject matter to address. Because you're talking about a very, very dark thing. And the horrific thing that was done to black women is, number one, the raping, and number two, the brainwashing, forcing them into a traumatic situation they had no choice but to comply. And you'll never see things like this in like the history books, and if you do see it, it's quickly glanced over. And it's very difficult for me to address this, because how do you address something like this so horrific? And the one thing that they were very good at doing, and if you want to get deeper into this subject, I recommend you get the Willie Lynch paper, which talks about the psychological brainwashing that the slaves went through. And it even spills over into present day. And I want you to understand that a lot of hostility that black women have toward black men is a program conditioned response. And it's a direct effect of the Willie Lynch letter, in which the programming was put in place to get us to hate our skin color, to also create a manufactured gender war, because the aggression has been diverted from white men to black men. This is what they have done to the mindset of black women. They have created an ergobore. Now, what is an ergobore? An ergobore is, when we talk about occultism, it is a spiritual thought virus that is basically can be fed, can grow, and become more powerful. So, you know, Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, had wrote papers talking about the collective consciousness, knowing that we're all connected. This is the Ma'at principle, that there is a collective thought process that we all engaged in. And we share thoughts. With this, if we focus on a thought and we feed it, it then becomes a powerful spiritual entity or an ergobore. And then it begins to influence other people. Again, the Willie Lynch letter. We can also attribute this to the 100 monkey principle. That a study was done showing that monkeys who were separated by water in different islands, these monkeys were all exhibiting a unique type of behavior in where they were cleaning nuts. And it spread from one island to another. And these monkeys had no contact with each other, yet somehow they all learned how to clean these nuts in a very similar manner. This is how culture spreads. Because of these ergobores and these thought viruses, when we have a thought, we feed it, it grows, and it indoctrinates other people. 100 monkey principle. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the actual birthing process, and you'll see an example in this film of what I talked about: the slave black women's compliance and need to appease the slave master.
Come on! Come over here. Look at this. What a chance you've got. Come and see how a little bastard comes into the world. Beauty, eh? Must be about 7 pounds. This one's dedicated to you. I'll call him Macaroni. Good girl, Cleopatra. Who's the sire?
Don't rightly know, master. You had me covered by Pluto, only it didn't take. Then you had me pleasured by Nestor.
Oh, that's all right.
Just to be sure.
He's a beauty anyway.
See how your master keeps his word? It's a prize, $1 a pup. An old family tradition.
So that's a little clip. Those two clips were from the film Goodbye Uncle Tom, which I think is a brilliant film that we shot in the 70s. If you haven't seen it, oh my God, you have to check it out. It's a brilliant, I think, French film, which showcases what actually happened during slavery. So what I would like to see is for black women to stand up and stop supporting feminism, which is a white woman's movement, and really start going after white males for the crimes that they committed during slavery, the raping, the mental brainwashing and conditioning, the lack of financial support, because many of these children should have, well, they had the right to claim part of the plantation because they were the sons and daughters of the slave master. So they should have gotten some financial compensation. And I would like black women as a collective to go after these black men for these crimes. Because as I said before, it's horrific. And the betrayal of slavery by roots didn't do us any justice. It introduced the white world to slavery and what happened, but it failed to communicate the real horror of it. which is now what you see here, and other things like buck breaking or how babies were fed to alligators. Yes, these things did happen. Black babies being fed to alligators. Mass lynchings. The lynchings were just part of it. So I want us all to stand up and say, we want an accurate portrayal of what happened in slavery. We don't want it sugar-coated by Hollywood. And we want to hold white men accountable for the crimes that they committed and are still committing crimes, because they're still, through social engineering, trying to condition the minds of black women. This gender war was created by white men to break up the black family. This animosity that black women feel toward black men is a construct, is a socially engineered ideology that has been put in place by these white men. Not all white men. I want to make that clear. But there's a segment of white America that is devious, cunning, and evil. And they are plotting against people of color. Yes, this is just not a crazy conspiracy theory. They are creating herbivores. The Willie Lynch letter, the 100 Monkey Principle are true. They're factual. Carl Jung proved this. He was a trailblazer in the sense that he took modern psychology from left brain to right brain by dealing with the metaphysical principles of the mind, in showing that archetypes exist, the collective consciousness exists. And if we look at slavery purely from a physical bondage perspective, then we miss a large part of its legacy of mind control. I want to thank you for tuning in today. If this message resonates with you, please donate to the channel. This is Qesankh Ma'at Keparu, son of Ma'at and Tuhuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, Amen Ra.